For this special episode of the Scorecard, we are here with one of the top scorers right now in the Premier Volleyball League, former Ateneo Lady Eagle and now Cignal HD Spiker, Vanie Gandler. Vanie, thank you so much for your time and welcome to the Scorecard. All right, Vanie, checking your stats. Right now, you're leading Cignal in scoring, averaging 13 points per match, top 10 in the league in scoring. Do you believe that this is the best version of Vanie Gandler that's ever been since you started playing volleyball?
I guess I have much more experience now with leadership and the national team, so I'm pretty sure I've picked up a lot since college.
Growing up, Vanie, who were the players that you looked up to and inspired you to play volleyball?
Never really had like someone that I was looking up to.
Yeah?
Growing up.
Like even not in volleyball, like an inspiration in terms of like a role model.
Kasi it's only the pandemic when I really locked in and I really like started learning more about it, thinking deeper. Growing up like in high school, I was just enjoying the sport, you know, having the sport, all your friends are there. So I was never really like, oh, I want to be like this girl.
I see. So what was that moment that made you realize like, okay, I'm gonna lock in, I love volleyball now and I'm gonna keep working until I become the best version of myself?
So the pandemic was post my rookie year in Ateneo, which is really bad. I was bashed a lot, and that time I was really lost. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. Pandemic came, so I sat down with myself and then I was like, okay, I think by the time the pandemic is over, I'm gonna be a senior.
Yeah.
I need to know what I want to do with my life. So I was like, okay, what do I have now? What can I do with it? So I have volleyball. And it's always been such a great opportunity. I've always been handed all these opportunities, like high school, palaro, coming into Ateneo. Like all these opportunities were always at my doorstep, but I was never really grabbing them.
Yeah.
So pandemic, and I was like, okay, you know what? This is what I have, and it's been giving me so much opportunities. It's time to give back to volleyball and really start grabbing everything that I can. One is my strength, physical-wise. I need to get stronger. That's what I can do in the pandemic. I can lift weights.
Yeah.
Two, like, you know, what I did, first thing actually I ever did, I watched my first ever game, the LaSalle Ateneo game.
Wow.
Rookie year. Because that game really traumatized me and I couldn't watch it because I got so much backlash from that. It's like, wow, I didn't expect the mental challenges it came with playing a sport so big in the country.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. I was like, you know what, there's only one way to get over it, is to face it.
Yeah.
So I watched the game over and over again. Because I had like maybe 10 errors that game, 1 point. So everyone was making like a low light of me, of all my errors, like that. So I just kept watching it so that I didn't let it have control over me anymore. And then after watching it, I was like, okay, what did I do wrong? What should I have done? There. So what I did in the pandemic, I asked people like, oh, how can I improve?
Yeah.
And in my backyard, in the street, I do service receive, like that. With what I made do with what I could talaga. And then when gyms started opening a bit, I'd really rent courts. Like I'd go all the way to Manila, Antipolo, Pasig, QC, just to rent a court to play. Kasi not every court allowed volleyball yet. So yeah.
Wow, I didn't know you were such a deep thinker and you broke it down that way on how to overcome everything mentally.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I mean, obviously now you're doing better. You just mentioned a while ago that you're the best version of yourself at this point. Do you get flashbacks though of those moments that you're doubting yourself, and how do you overcome them now that you're stronger and wiser?
I still do. More of maybe not doubt, more of just frustration, you know, because I really had to do thrice the work other people had to do to get to where I am now. I wasn't really naturally skilled like others. I had to really put in the work. Like in the pandemic, that's 2 years.
Yeah.
Morning, night, every day, working out, working. Just as I told myself, by the time the pandemic ends, I don't want to be like, oh, I wish I started working. I want to be ready so that, you know, I can build on from there. So it was more of like, now when I get into that phase of doubt, it's like, what's that gonna do to me?
Yeah.
What's doubting myself or getting frustrated gonna, like, what's it gonna do to me? Nothing. So it's more just focusing on what I can control of. And so like now, our sports psych, Sir Marco said, you should have core values for yourself. Not really goals, core values.
Yeah.
Because when you're down and when you're up, you ask yourself, okay, are you still sticking to your values?
Yeah.
So now mine is like discipline, resilience, courage. Like, so when I'm playing bad, am I sticking to my values? Am I still doing the work I need to do? Am I still trying? Yes. Okay, then you're fine. Because sometimes in sports, you really can't control your bad game, good game. You really just have to be patient and it'll come. That's why I always say in my interviews na my goal for myself is to grow. Because if you just focus on your growth, everything else will follow. So that's all I do talaga. Not really focusing much on, I need to get this much of points this game. I need to be this good. Like, no. I need to do the work. I need to help my teammates, and that's how I'll rise. Like,
you know what? I feel like after your responses to those last two questions, I feel like you could be like a poster girl for giving advice to young ones nowadays, young athletes who deal with mental issues like that and try to overcome things.
No,
and I didn't know you were going through all that.
yeah, no, I always tell people now na people don't realize how much of a mental game it is and how much mental work you actually need to put in to be a better version of yourself, not just outside but also inside the court. And I also learned it because like in the pandemic I'd watch interviews of the greatest, Kobe Bryant, like all those people I'd watch. They say the same thing. They what do you call this? They do the mental work. They do the self, you know, discovery stuff, the film work, everything.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you some fun questions para maiba naman, because I feel like you really had to go deep with the thought process with some of the questions. All right, so let's do some light questions.
Okay.
Valentine's with Vanie. Okay, what's your idea of a perfect date?
I'm not very picky, so I'd appreciate anything, honestly. I'd appreciate maybe a perfect date, sunset view, maybe sunset view. I love sunset.
Yeah, okay, so you're a beach person.
Yeah, beach, nature.
All right, dream destination.
I really want to see the Northern Lights.
Ah.
Yes, in Norway. I really want to see the Northern Lights.
Okay, would you rather get flowers or chocolates?
I think flowers now.
Favorite dish?
Oh, that's hard. I love food. I eat anything. I'm not a picky eater. That's really hard. Depends on my mood.
Right now, like it's post-practice, you're hungry.
Steak.
The best. Okay, favorite love song?
Right now, what's the name of that song?
Yan. Talagang may evidence pa talaga si Vanie.
Right now, it's the Do I Wanna Know, the version of Hosier.
There you go. Favorite rom-com?
It used to be Love Rosie when I was in high school, so I guess Love Rosie.
All right, last question. Fill in the blank. Valentine's with Vanie. Love is blank.
Non-acceptable. Love is everywhere. Love is everywhere.
So there you go. On that note, we'd like to thank Vanie Gandler for guesting here on the Scorecard. Vanie, congratulations on everything you're doing, all the accomplishments, and all the best moving forward with Cignal HD.
Thank you so much.